Hello and welcome to Gaming News Roundup for week 6 of 2017, your weekly source for everything in the world of video games. With the industry hot off the heels of last year's CSGO Lotto fiasco, which involved high-profile YouTubers T Martin and Syndicate promoting unregistered gambling sites to younger audiences, FIFA YouTuber Craig Nepenthes Douglas has pleaded guilty to offences under the UK Gambling Act. Douglas and his business partner Dylan Rigby were involved in the gambling website known as FUT Galaxy that allowed users to bet using a virtual currency that could then be transferred back into the FIFA game, with Douglas using his 1.3 million subscriber base as a method of promotion to maximise profits. Due to the site not being officially registered as a legal gambling site, the site had no age restriction, allowing users under the age of 18 to gamble with real money on the site. Jurors heard of a case where one 14-year-old boy lost over £500 during one day of gambling on the site. Both Douglas and Rigby have pleaded guilty to their charges, with Douglas fined £91,000 and Rigby £164,000. The actions of these men were allegedly described as horrific and serious in court, and with the rise of other video game gambling sites over the last few years, it's unlikely that this will be the last story we hear related to illegal underage gambling. It seems as though players have finally gotten it through to Activision that we don't wish for another futuristic zero-G space title, as Activision finally admitted that there's evidence to prove this trend. Game sales have been down year on year ever since Advanced Warfare released back in 2014, despite Modern Warfare Remastered bringing back a large portion of the community who purchased Infinite Warfare purely for the remaster add-on. Call of Duty games have been on a 3-year development cycle ever since Sledgehammer Games joined the roster of COD developers with their release of Advanced Warfare in 2014, and their offering for this year is rumoured to be historical. If this rumour is true, then it would appear that the decision to go back in time isn't a reaction to this year's sales figures, as the concept for Call of Duty 2017 would have been greenlit over 2 years ago now. Whatever the time period, we can only hope for the future of COD that it doesn't flop as hard as the last 3 out of 4 have, excluding Black Ops 3, which was praised much more highly by critics in comparison to Ghosts, Advanced and Infinite Warfare. Ubisoft has let loose some information regarding their future release plan for 2017 through 18 in a recent financial call. Boss Yves Guillemot talked through the Watch Dogs 2 sales and said that although the launch sales were soft, the figures had remained strong due to positive word of mouth, and that they were happy with how they are currently looking. He went on to talk about how Ubisoft are looking to release less big titles over the next fiscal year, with more focus being put onto supporting their current live games like The Division and Rainbow Six Siege, the latter of which has been setting new player count records week on week, which is fantastic given it launched in December of 2015. Just 4 AAA titles will be launched by Ubisoft between April 2017 and March 2018, one of which will be South Park The Fractured Butthole, after it was delayed from the end of March 2017, which leaves the other 3 up for debate. Assassin's Creed and Far Cry are expected to return after they took a year off last year for the developers to get to grips with how they wanted the franchises to continue. Let me know what Ubisoft games you'd like to see released in the next financial year in the comments below. If you are a fan of the hardcore shooter Insurgency, then you'll be glad to hear that the updated sequel will be releasing sometime in 2018 on PC and consoles, with a closed alpha taking place on PC later this year. Built within Unreal Engine 4, developer New World Interactive stated that the new game will include light transport vehicles as well as fire support vehicles, new modes to accommodate the vehicle gameplay, improved ballistic systems with bullet drop and travel time, as well as interactive scenery with ladders and door breaching, very a la Siege. Sandstorm will also include a 4-player co-op campaign that follows the story of a woman enslaved by radical insurgents in Iraq. Make sure you subscribe to the major YouTube channel to get all the new details on Insurgency Sandstorm once they're released. That's all for this week. As usual, all of the sources can be found in the link dump down below if you want to read further into any of the stories. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe so that you don't miss next week's episode. You've been watching Major with Gaming News Roundup, and I'll catch you in my next one.